Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is a $950 LED mask by MZ Skin created by Maryam Zamani. And before we talk about claims like brightening, anti-aging, pigment reduction and acne reduction, I want to talk about something far more important. What it actually feels like on the skin and what can potentially go wrong. Because after my first use, I experienced something I had never seen mentioned in any review. And I absolutely feel you should know about this before even considering buying a device like this. So this mask here was gifted by MZ Skin, as I mentioned before, and this was my first ever experience using a device like this. I had seen many influencers use LED masks casually online, but I realized something was missing. Nobody talks about the real sensory feeling and possible reactions, especially with luxury devices at this price point. So I decided to document my experience honestly, including both what felt fine and what absolutely didn't. According to the brand, this mask here, which is called Lightmax Supercharged LED Mask 2.0, is clinically proven to brighten and plump the skin, calm any inflammation if you have, improve tone and pigmentation, and reduce acne and fine lines. Also, it is FDA cleared, not FDA approved. There is a difference between something that's FDA approved and FDA cleared. I've put down a link below if you want to read about that. And all these are, they look really strong claims. And I will come back to whether I could personally assess these results later. Before using it on my face, I followed the instruction exactly as mentioned in the manual. The device has two programs, one for acne, one for anti-aging. Each program runs for 10 minutes. The brand also recommends to do a patch test on your inner arm, running both programs back to back. So in total, you are giving like a 20-minute, 10-minute for the anti-aging, 10-minute for the acne program to run. And then waiting for at least 6 hours to check for any irritation, any burning, or any kind of sensation that does not look normal. And I did exactly as instructed. And I experienced no irritation, no sensation on my inner arm. Everything was normal. Everything was just looking okay. And based on that, I proceeded to use it on my face. Now, before even I received it, I was really curious about how it actually feels on the skin while the mask is sitting on your skin. And this is the kind of information I wasn't able to find anywhere on the internet. There are a lot of reviews that are available for other LED masks, not this one particularly. For this one, I only got to see brand videos. And I can understand the reason. This is quite an expensive LED face mask. Now, let's talk about what people actually want to know, how this feels on the face. First, the weight. The mask is noticeably heavy. It's made of silicone and plastic and contains LED lights and a lithium battery. So the weight makes sense. But once it's on your face, you actually feel it. Even with a snug fit, I personally felt the mask pulling downward due to gravity, especially while sitting upright. At times, I had to lightly support it with my hand under the chin area to reduce the dragging sensation on my skin. In terms of sensation while wearing it, I did not feel any sort of heat, any tingling, any burning, no stinging, no discomfort while the program was running. It honestly felt like wearing a heavy device on the face, nothing more. And after completing the 10-minute program, I went ahead with the pink light, which is meant for the anti-aging program. And as I removed the mask, I noticed something alarming. I could see distinct bluish-green marks on my face, exactly in the pattern of where the LED nodes had been touching my skin. This was not redness, this was not temporary pressure marks, and this was not something that wiped off either. I thought it is something, because it's exactly in the same pattern that once I wipe it off, it will go away, but it didn't. And naturally, I panicked. In the real footage, you see, I was trying not to panic about it, but deep within, I was really scared. I tried gently rubbing the area, nothing changed. I did not use any actives that night. I stuck to a basic soothing routine using ceramide-based products only. Over the next 2 hours, the marks slowly began to fade, but they were still clearly visible. By the next morning, about 90 to 95% of the marks had subsided, but if I looked closely, I could still see faint traces. It took 2 to 3 full days for the marks to completely disappear. That same night after this happened, I contacted the brand immediately and shared all the photos before and after and every little detail. The next morning they responded and followed up asking whether I took the patch test or not, and then advised me to stop using the mask completely. And by that point, I had already decided not to continue with this mask. To be clear, the brand handled this communication professionally, but the fact remains the reaction happened only after one single use. And I want to be very clear here. I'm not saying that this will happen to everyone. Skin reactions are highly individual. However, after this experience, I did some deeper digging and found multiple Reddit discussions where users reported similar reactions with LED masks, not necessarily this exact model, but LED devices in general. And this tells me one thing: this isn't really impossible, but it's not really openly talked about. I have sensitive skin, I live in a hot and humid climate, and that combination may have contributed. But the lack of conversation, and although, the brand does give you this potential adverse effect advice, as you can see here, this kind of reaction is still concerning, especially at this price point. So here is my honest takeaway. If you have highly sensitive skin, a history of pigmentation issues, or react unpredictably to devices, I would approach these LED masks with extreme caution. Would I personally spend my own $950 on a device like this? I don't think so. Not because LED therapy doesn't work, but because the risk to reward ratio doesn't make sense for me after this experience. If you're considering a device like this, I strongly recommend patch testing seriously. At this point, I want to make a mention. Brand also mentions, in one of the pages in the manual, in case you feel this device does not suit you and you have bought it with your own money, you can actually return this device within 30 days of purchase with a valid proof of purchase, which is great because for a price that you pay, if it doesn't work, it does not make sense to spend, $950. Also, you must remember, luxury does not mean risk-free. This whole video sharing my experience is not to scare you, but to keep you informed and that you make informed choices in the future. And that's something I wish more reviews did. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe to this channel. If you found this video helpful, this information useful, like and subscribe to my channel as I keep reviewing products, testing them, and sharing my real life skin experiences. And that's all for today's video. I'll see you all in my next video. Until then, stay tuned, stay beautiful.